What's going on, everyone? So yesterday we had the controversial Dallas Laker game, right? And it was just crazy. The refereeing was just atrocious on both sides. It wasn't even just like a Laker thing. Both sides were absolutely terrible. But the big moments were the Troy Brown three-point shot at the end. I believed it was a foul. I'm not talking about the hand. He hit the hand, but he literally like collided into his side, hit him. Right? Some people believe it wasn't. Some people believe it was. LeBron James, at the end of the first OT, when he's driving to the hoop and he gets fouled with like 2 seconds left, right? He should have went to the free throw line. They didn't call that. They said it was a clean. Everything was good. Even the announcers were like, oh, no. The commentators were like, oh, no, I don't think that was a foul. I think that was clean. All of that stuff. Well, we were all waiting around for the, final minute reports that they do in the fourth quarter and overtimes. And we finally got that report. And guess what? There was some interesting stuff in there. So I'm going to read you, because it's a short report. I'm going to read the whole thing here on this video. So the NBA last 2-minute report cites 7 missed calls in the Lakers and Mavs game. 7 missed calls in just the last 2 minutes and overtime. So a non-call on LeBron James' potential game winner in the first overtime period was one of 7 incorrect calls in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and the 2 overtimes during Thursday night's game between the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers, according to the NBA's last 2-minute reports released Friday. James' shot attempt came with the score tied at and 2.9 seconds left in the first overtime. According to the report, Mavs forward Christian Wood initiated contact on James' left arm before blocking the shot, and the illegal contact affected James' attempt. After the block, according to reported officials, also should have whistled Luka Doncic for a loose ball foul for contacting winning Gabriel's arm. So that's 2 for the Lakers. The Mavericks went on to win 119-115 in double overtime. The non-call on the Lakers were the most upset about Thursday's game. Lakers guard Troy Brown Jr. shot at the end of regulation when Tim Hardaway Jr. made contact with the ball on Brown's shooting hand, which was deemed correct by the league's report. Again, I don't have a problem with the hand. I get the follow-through, it's inadvertent contact, but it says, according to the report, Hardaway legally contested Brown's shot attempt and made contact with the ball, and report also said any high-five contact was considered incidental. My thing wasn't that. My thing was that he literally ran into him, and Troy Brown Jr. didn't initiate the contact, right? Yes, the hand is part of the ball. It's incidental contact. Okay, that is fine. But it's not just that. It's he literally ran the guy over. That was my big problem. But like I said, it was a short report. I just wanted to kind of go over that. But right there, you have several things that were the deciding factors for the Lakers to win that game. And this is what a lot of people were upset about. But it's not even just this game. Like, officiating across the league this year has just been, again, atrocious. It's been terrible. They've been so tech happy. I mean, think of like Luka got a technical for talking to his teammate in the middle of a game. Like, he wasn't even looking at the refs. The ref was like to the side, and he's like looking at, I think it was like Powell or something. He's like looking at him, talking to him, and like yelling at him about something, and he gets hit with a technical. And then Jason Tatum gets hit with the technical for like clapping his hands and all this stuff. Like, the refs are just so tech happy. They're just no good officiating. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. Like, high school officiating is better than what we're getting right now in the NBA. It's something needs to be done. They need to change. They need to fix something, because this is just not working. And it's not just the Lakers. Lots of teams are complaining about it. I mean, LeBron can't get a call to save his life, and which is crazy because he's a superstar and arguably one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player to ever play the game. I mean, Kobe, Jordan, Shaq, you name it, they got calls. Shaq was hard, and like refs admitted, hey, it was really hard to officiate Shaq because every play was a foul because he was just so big and dominant. So it would have just been a free throw game if it wasn't for that. And I understand that refs don't want to ruin the flow of games. I understand that refs don't want to, they want the games to play themselves out. I don't mind a little physicality, right? The NBA has gone a little soft. Cool. Let these guys duke it out a little bit. But there's points to this. There's levels to this. And I also understand that referees don't want to be the deciding factors, right? They don't want to be the team that They don't want to be the guys that decide the games. But when there's a blatant call it. You have to call it. Like, you still have a job to do. You still have things that you need to do and get done. That's what drives me the most crazy. And it's just like we're seeing just terrible officiating throughout, but there's no repercussions for refs, right? Like NBA players, coaches, organizations, people in front offices, anything. If anybody says anything about the officiating, says anything about anything when it comes to the NBA, what happens? They get fined. They get in trouble. Something happens, right? But when it comes to officials, they can control so much of a game, and yet there's no repercussions in any shape or form. It makes it impossible for there to be fairness across the board, right? And especially with the type of scandals the league has had with refereeing, but it's even about just being fair. I mean, I understand LeBron is bigger, stronger, faster than everybody, but that doesn't mean he should like never get a call. Even Russ, Russ getting hit in the face on like driving to the hoop and nothing. Don't get a call. Oh, it's clean. It's good. It's nothing, right? Like it's just, and then you see some players in the league and they're just shooting like 30 free throws a game, and it's like, what? like what's going on? And I understand like guys like Trae Young, when they get hit, right? It looks a lot worse than it is compared to like if LeBron gets hit. Because LeBron is so big, so dominant, so strong. If somebody smacks him, he's able to take it better than like, if a 6'8" guy hits Trae Young, he's flying across the court. And people get on like certain players and like even LeBron for like flopping. But I think it was Dwayne Wade said, like, if you look at LeBron early years, like he wasn't really complaining about calls. He wasn't really complaining about fouls. He wasn't really flopping. But he realized like, oh, I can't get a call unless I sell it. So he did it. And that's why a lot of players do that. Because they know these refs don't call anything. These refs are terrible, right? And they want to make changes. Like they want to start calling the traveling calls. So you're seeing the traveling call being picked up more. That's not a big deal, right? You can make an argument that NBA players travel every possession, right? Some of the plays are just insane. But I understand they want to kind of clean up certain things. Players will adjust. Players will adapt, right? But that doesn't mean like you can't just make calls. It's got to be consistent is the problem. It's just so inconsistent game in and game out, team in and team out, right? Like you have certain teams that just, it seems like they get all the calls, and then you get other teams that just don't, and like, I don't think the NBA is rigged or anything like that. You see a lot of people that are like, oh, well, this game is fixed or this game, there's no incentive for that, right? And refs can't dictate the game that much. Like even the Lakers, like, yes, the Lakers, they got screwed by the refs pretty bad, but they also shouldn't have went down 19 early, right? LeBron shouldn't have been shooting them out the game, right? Like guys should have been stepping up better. Like none of the role guys stepped up. They didn't blitz Luka like they were the entire game during those last two shots, which were the two most important shots, right? Like there's a lot of things that the Lakers did that just, led to them losing this game. It wasn't just solely on the refs. It wasn't like, man, this was like a hard-fought game, back and forth, and, the refs cost everything. Like, the Lakers were playing catch-up the entire night, finally gained the lead, and when they got the lead, they could never push far enough ahead to win the game. So many missed free throws. I mean, Russ made the clutch free throws at the end, credit him, and Russ had an amazing game. I mean, Russ was locking Luka up. I mean, Luka went like a quarter and a half without scoring, right? But, I mean, he made the big shot, credit to Luka. But Russ made the 2 free throws when it counted, when it mattered, but he missed several free throws, right? LeBron missed a bunch of free throws, right? And those are free throws that if you would have made half of those, you would have won the game. Like they missed like 7 or 8 between the two of them, you win the game. If you make half of them, you tie the game. So it's like, there are more things than just the refs that cost this game, but still, it's one of those things where it's like, man, like, it's frustrating to get these 2-minute reports and then see like the truth and the reality, right? Okay, Troy Brown wasn't a foul, sure. Okay, I'll give you that. But even then, even if you didn't, you still missed the winning Gabriel arm. You still missed, the LeBron foul that likely would have won the game, right? Because even if he missed a free throw, as long as he makes one of them, you win, right? Or let's say he does miss both Wayne Inn was doing great at getting the hustle. Maybe you put in Thomas Bryant, right? And you just go big at the line and try to get the rebound and put back because there's still 2 seconds left, right? Like, who knows what would have happened? There's a lot that could have changed because of the outcome. And you're letting referees decide the ins and outs. I don't know. It's a tough spot to be in. But anyway, those are my thoughts and opinions. And as always, pass a question on you. Let me know yours down in the comment section below.